Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back here with a YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing Bad Batch, Bad Batch Season 1, Episode 4, Cornered review here on the channel. So yeah, another week, another episode of the Bad Batch. So currently we're on Episode 4 now. I can't remember the total episode count. I'm pretty sure it's like 15 or something like that. But anyways, we got a lot more down to go, but now we're getting into episode number 4 here. So this week's episode was pretty interesting. There's a few things to talk about definitely in this review here. Interesting stuff happening, and yeah, I guess let's get into it. So the Bad Batch, episode number 4, really interesting. It had a sense of another kind of filler a bit. And I mean, you can't really tell which is filler and which is not, just for the fact that there's no real end goal for the show here currently. Like, that's how we knew kind of which episodes were from The Mandalorian were filler, for example. As we know in the culmination, he would verse Moff Gideon, or he was planning to go try and find a Jedi or something like that. Whereas in Bad Batch, they don't really say anything about that. They're more of just like moving forward, kind of living in the moment kind of thing. But I mean, you kind of knew this episode was coming just for the fact that in this episode they're trying to pretty much just refuel on supplies and stuff like that. And throughout the past few episodes, we've been hearing, oh, we're kind of low on supplies, we're kind of low on supplies. So, I mean, that was, you kind of saw it coming, to be honest with you guys, but yeah. Anyways, let's just unravel some stuff. Warning, spoilers ahead. Uh, So yeah, in this episode we actually got our first look at Fennec Shan in animation form slash Bad Batch form. As we've seen her in The Mandalorian before, she's a newer character, and we actually saw her in the show, so I was pretty interested to see that. Voiced by the same actress who plays her in The Mandalorian, pretty interesting as well. It's interesting to see that character expanding because we saw her in the trailer. I didn't know what to expect out of her, but at least now we understand her character a little bit better. So we saw in this episode that the Bad Batch traveled to a planet. I can't remember the exact name of the planet, but we've seen this planet before in the Clone Wars. I remember seeing it, or at least their diplomats and stuff like that. I've seen them before. So yeah, they travel to that planet to pretty much get supplies. The Bad Batch gets supplies as usual. They do whatever. Then they run into a problem where we actually see Fennec Shand, as she has a bounty on Omega. So I thought that was a little strange. We could also see that Fennec Shand, involving Fennec Shand's character, we could see a lot uh, of just, she's a bounty hunter, but at the same time she's one of like the more nicer type of bounty hunters. She's like an equivalence to an anti-hero. If you're talking about like say superheroes and villains and stuff like that, she would probably be more as and more of like an anti-hero. Just for the fact that we like saw her being nice to Omega, like getting food for her and stuff like that. So and she wasn't just straight up grabbing Omega right off the bat. She ended up doing that, but that was because the hand was kind of forced there. But yeah, uh, the Bad Batch, it was pretty interesting. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny when my apologies about that. But when they were going to get supplies and they were in that shop, and Echo looked like a droid, and that guy's like, "I'll pay you for your droid," and then Echo's like, "Come on." I thought that was so funny. It was funny. Yeah, of course, there's like a few jokes in this episode, stuff like that, which I found relatively funny. It was pretty funny. Uh, Again, going off Fennec Shan's character, very interesting. We dive more into her character. Uh, what I also found pretty interesting is who exactly was putting the bounty on, say, Omega. Because I'm very curious to see. Because my honest guess would probably be, say, one of the Kaminoans. But at the same time, you would be like, I mean, if it's the Kaminoans, wouldn't they send like clones or something after her? or something like that, or send different Kaminoans, not just bounty hunters. But then again, who knows? Maybe they just don't want to do that because they don't want the Empire knowing too much about Omega, so they probably just sent a bounty hunter to eat and made it much easier on them. Speaking also about Kaminoans, I don't know if I told you guys this last episode or last review, I mean, but I've got I feel as if there might be a brew of uprising, a Kaminoan uprising, such as the one that happened in comics, actually, or legends, or whatever you want to say it, with the Kaminoans fighting off against the Empire and creating like a new squadron of clones and stuff like that. So I think that's might come. Honestly, I'm hoping it comes around episode 6 is my honest, or episode 7, maybe even closer to the end of the show. Uh, but anyways, another good episode. I know this review is kind of short. It just this episode wasn't too long. It was like 24 minutes, something like that. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.